Hello, and welcome back to Langmitra's German for Beginners podcast. I'm your teacher, Maria, and I'm so excited to dive into today's lesson, which is absolutely foundational for anyone learning German. Today, Devendra, we're tackling what I like to call the power verb, sein, which means to be.
Hi, Maria. I'm ready. Last time we talked about basic greetings and introductions, so I guess to be is pretty important for saying things like, I am Devendra, or you are welcome, right?
Exactly, Devendra. You've hit the nail on the head. Sein is omnipresent in German, just like to be is in English. It's how you introduce yourself, describe things, state your location, and so much more. Think of it as the backbone of so many sentences you'll want to build. So, Devendra, are you ready to conquer your first German verb conjugation?
Absolutely, Maria. I'm a bit nervous about conjugations, but I'm ready to try.
Don't be nervous at all. We'll take it step by step. Let's start with the personal pronouns, because the verb sein changes depending on who is doing the being. You already know ich for I, right?
Yes, ich. I remember that from saying ich heiße Devendra.
Perfect. Now, for ich, the form of sein is bin. So I am becomes ich bin. Can you try that, Devendra?
Ich bin. I am.
Wonderful. Now let's try it with your name. How would you say I am Devendra?
Ich bin Devendra.
Excellent. You've just conjugated your first German verb. Give yourself a pat on the back. Now, the next pronoun is du, which means you, but it's the informal you. We use du for friends, family, children, or people you're on a first-name basis with. For du, sein becomes bist, so you are, informal, is du bist. Can you say that?
Du bist. You are. Informal.
Very good. Now, let's say you want to tell a friend, you are nice. You could say, du bist nett. Can you try that?
Du bist nett. You are nice.
Fantastic. Now, Devendra, this is where it gets a little more complex, but also very important, the formal you. In German, we have a separate pronoun for you when you're speaking to strangers, elders, people in positions of authority, or in professional settings. This is sie, spelled with a capital S. And for sie, the verb sein becomes sind. So you are, formal, is sie sind.
Oh, so du is like thou used to be in Old English for close people, and sie is more like the general you we use today, but specifically for formal situations. That's a good way to think about it, Maria.
That's a brilliant analogy, Devendra. It captures the essence perfectly. Sie sind is always formal. Let's practice. How would you ask someone formally, are you Mr. Schmidt? You'd say, sind Sie Herr Schmidt?
Sind Sie Herr Schmidt? This sie versus du thing is quite a cultural point, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Devendra. It's one of the most significant cultural differences a German learner encounters. Using du incorrectly with someone you should address as sie can be seen as disrespectful, while using sie with a close friend can sound overly stiff or even sarcastic. It's a nuanced social code. We'll dive deeper into that later. For now, let's continue with the rest of the pronouns. We have er for he, sie for she, lowercase s, and s for it, like das Buch, the book. For all three of these, the form of sein is ist. So he is er ist, she is sie ist, and it is es ist. Can you try those? Okay. Er ist, he is, sie ist, she is, it is. Excellent pronunciation, Devendra. Let's try some sentences. How would you say he is a student? Er ist Student. Er ist Student. He is a student. And she is a doctor. Sie ist Ärztin. Precisely. You're doing great. Now for the plural pronouns. Wir means we. For wir, sein becomes sind. So we are is we sind. Can you say that? Wir sind. Super. Imagine you and a friend are at a cafe. You could say, wir sind hier. Wir sind hier. The next one is ihr, which means you all, or y'all if you're from certain parts of the world. It's the informal plural you. So if you're talking to a group of friends, you'd use ihr. For ihr, sein becomes seid. Try that one, Devendra. Ihr seid. You all are. Informal plural. This is getting tricky, Maria, with so many yous. I know, Devendra. It can feel like a lot at first, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Think of it this way. Du is one informal person. Ihr is many informal people. Sie, with a capital S, is one or many formal people. It's about politeness and number. You're doing really well distinguishing them. Now, let's say you're talking to a group of friends and you want to say, you all are ready. You'd say, ihr seid bereit.
Ihr seid bereit. You all are ready.
Wonderful. And finally, we have sie, lowercase s, for they. This sie also uses sind, so they are is sie sind. Notice that sie, formal you, and sie, they, have the same verb form, sind. It's context that will tell you which one is being used.
Okay, so they are is sie sind, and you are, formal, is also sie sind. So many sins. Maria, how do I keep sie, she, sie, they, and sie, formal you straight? That's a great question, Devendra, and it's a common point of confusion for beginners. The key is capitalization and context. Sie with a capital S always means the formal you, whether singular or plural. Sie with a lowercase s can mean she or they. How do you tell the difference between the lowercase sinis? If it refers to a single female person, it's she. If it refers to multiple people or things, it's they. For example, if I said, meine Schwester is here, sie ist glücklich. My sister is here, she is happy. The sie clearly refers to my sister. If I said, meine Freund isn't here, sie sind müde. The sie refers to my friends. Does that help clarify it, Demendra? Yes, Maria, that's much clearer. Capitalization for you formal is a huge hint, and then context for she versus they. Got it. Excellent. So let's review the full conjugation of Sein quickly. Ich bin, I am. Du bist, you are, informal singular. Sie est, he, she, it. Wir sind, we are. Ihr seid, you all are. Sie sind, they are. Sie sind, you are, formal singular or plural. Now, Devendra, let's try a mini role play. Imagine you're at a hotel check-in. You're speaking to the receptionist. How would you introduce yourself and then ask if they, referring to the hotel staff generally or the service, are helpful? Think about formality here. Okay, so a hotel, formal. I'd say, Guten Tag, ich bin Devendra. Good day, I am Devendra. Then to ask if they are helpful, I'd use the formal you, right? So, sind Sie hilfsbereit? Are you helpful?
That's a fantastic start, Devendra. Your introduction was perfect. Guten Tag, ich bin Devendra. Now for are you helpful, if you're asking the receptionist directly if she is helpful, sind Sie hilfsbereit is correct. However, if you wanted to ask generally about the staff or the service being helpful, you might say, ist der Service hilfsbereit? Is the service helpful? Or sind die Mitarbeiter hilfsbereit? Are the employees helpful? But sind Sie hilfsbereit to the receptionist is perfectly fine and polite. You correctly used Sie sind for the formal you. That was a great application of our lesson, Devendra.
Thanks, Maria. It feels good to put it into practice.
It's all about practice. Now, let's talk a bit more about the cultural significance of du and sie. In German culture, the sie form is the default for most interactions with adults you don't know well. It signifies respect and a certain distance. The switch to du, called duzen, is a significant step. It's usually initiated by the older person or the person in a more senior position and often involves a conscious offer, sometimes with a handshake and a phrase like, wollen wir uns duzen? Shall we use du with each other?
Wow, so it's a really deliberate choice. In my culture, we often use honorifics, but the verb form itself doesn't change based on formality in English like it does in German. It's fascinating how language reflects social structures.
It really is, Devendra. And because it's such a deliberate choice, using do too early can be seen as presumptuous or even rude. Conversely, if someone offers you the do, it's usually expected that you accept, as it's an offer of friendship or a closer acquaintance. It's a beautiful example of how embedded culture is in grammar. Think of it as a handshake in language. It's a very important social cue.
That makes so much sense, Maria. It's not just a grammar rule, it's a social rule.
Exactly. And knowing these nuances makes you not just a better German speaker, but also a more culturally aware individual. Now, Devendra, let's do one final quick practice to solidify everything. I'll give you a subject, and you give me the correct form of Sein. Ready?
Ready, Maria.
Okay, how about wir, we?
Wir sind.
Excellent. He, ist. Perfect. Ich, I.
Ich bin.
Super. And ihr, you all, informal.
Ihr seid.
You've absolutely nailed it, Devendra. You've learned your first essential German verb conjugation, understood the difference between do and sie, and practiced building practical sentences. That's a huge step.
Thanks, Maria. I feel much more confident now. It seemed daunting at first, but breaking it down really helped.
You're doing great, Devendra. Remember, you can always review these conjugations and find more practice exercises on Langmitra. Consistent practice is the key to making these forms automatic. Before we wrap up, remember to review your study cards on Langmitra after this lesson for all the new vocabulary, grammar points, and cultural insights. And definitely try the practice exercises to solidify your pronunciation and understanding. It really helps to reinforce what we've learned today.
I will, Maria. I'll make sure to use Langmitra for that.
Fantastic. So today we conquered Sein. Next time, we'll build on this foundation by learning how to introduce more personal information, like your profession and nationality, using Sein and other simple sentence structures. Get ready to expand your descriptive vocabulary.
Sounds exciting. Thanks for a great lesson, Maria.
You're very welcome, Devendra. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time on Langmitra German for Beginners. Tschüss!
Tschüss.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.